Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, boys and girls, welcome back to the No Bangers podcast. This is episode number 12. I am joined by the illustrious co-host, Mr. Rod from Picking and Punching, Cary from American Arbitrage Cards, and myself, Tim from Over the Years Sports.
You're like the Don West of QVC right now, buddy. Like, wow.
Don West was the Don West of QVC.
I know.
He's the Don West of No Bangers, dude.
No, selling no bangers, right?
Dude, did you watch Don West as a kid? I religiously watched Don West. Anytime it was 11, I was just like, I wish I had any money. I wish I knew what a credit card was, because like I wanted everything he put up there. I like what 7 sets of 1988 tops for $400 3 times. I can do it.
Yeah, you didn't need tender back then. You just needed a complete set of 88 tops.
Exactly. That's how you got the ladies.
So I don't know if you know this about Don West. Don West actually joined TNA Wrestling as one of the announcers.
Yeah, he's a legend for being an announcer. I heard.
Yeah, for wrestling announcer, because he was just so over the top. He was literally a cartoon character, and he was absolutely perfect for professional wrestling. So I thought that was great, man.
My dad loved Don West.
How can you not, man? Like, how can you not?
They did
love
Beanie
Don
Babies too, and this is my parents were. My dad was a collector.
Could you imagine?
A hustler.
Could you imagine Don West on like Whatnot or Debit Cards?
Yeah, it's called insane. Joe Hollywood.
Joe Hollywood. Joe Hollywood. There you go. Well
Touche, my friend. Touche. So, did your parents collect a lot of Beanie Babies back in the day?
Well, my parents were flippers, but they were also collectors. My dad always had a rule: always buy 2, one to open and one to keep sealed.
That's I love that, because I, as an action figure collector myself, that is the one people do all the time. They open one, put on display, and then they have one to pack away.
The nice thing about doing that with Beanie Babies is you have twice as much to take to the garbage, right? To take to the landfill.
Mom still has totes of Beanie Babies.
Dude,
give it a couple more years. It's got to simmer a little bit.
Dude, they sell daily on eBay. What people do is they literally pick them up for like 10 cents a piece, and they put them in giant lots. They get anywhere from $1 or $2 for them, and they sell them in giant lots now.
There's also like, honestly, there is a play, like if you have a little store, like a little antique store, if you have a little basket, by the cash register, and they're $1 a piece, people will buy them because I like ducks, like they're cute. Mm-hmm. But like, as far as like them being worth $70,000 because they have PVC pellets in them and Princess Diana or whatever, it's just not real.
Listen, there still are some out there that do have value to them.
You're gonna stick with that? Is that what you really think?
I know that there's some out there that still have value. We're not talking about $50,000, but there's some out there that still have some value that brings some money.
Like what? Like $10-15?
I mean, no, a little bit more than that. I mean, there's still, if you go and you do some research on those, there's some out there. I just know that nothing like it once was, or how people like think it was, but there are some out there that do bring some money. There are people that still collect Beanie Babies, believe it or not.
Can you grade them?
Great question. I don't know. But it's funny you bring that up, because we're going to talk a lot about grading today, because I don't know if you guys saw the big announcement of PSA. PSA has now announced that you can buy your card off eBay. Has to be $250 raw, $250 or more. Has to have at least 2 pictures, front and back. And you have the option at checkout now to send it directly to PSA for grading.
And no autographs either, right?
No autographs. But I mean, for me, that's wild, because there's so many things that look great online, and then when you get them, you're like, ugh.
Nobody is going to use that service except for idiots.
I don't know, man.
I heard it here first.
Break the news.
Just think, it's so stupid. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It makes 0 sense.
Full disclaimer here that these opinions are not representative of the No Bangers or Debit Cards.
No, I'm gonna whatever Tim says, I'm behind.
Yeah,
card.
Think about it like this: are you really going to spend $250 or more on a card and rely on the images from eBay to send it to get graded?
Here's the thing, dude. We're not the target market. I'm not spending $250 on a card. I'm not sending it to PSA. I'm not doing it digitally either. None of that. I don't think we're the market. I think the market is like an 18-year-old who's like, I just want to start flipping.
Do you know how many people are going to get PSA 6s?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to be, the market's going to be flooded with them. and then you might find those at card shows for $1 a slab. Who knows these days?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
exactly.
So you never know. So I know Tim had a little incident, find some cheap slabs this weekend.
Yeah, I found some. So there was a $1 box and a $5 box. I've seen $5 slabs before, but usually they're like, no huddle Patriots or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
like a stretch at $5.
score no huddle Patriots. But no, these were dollar slabs. So one of them was a 2014 Leaf in the game, Connor McDavid.
Wow.
Yeah. Gem Intent, but that's a GMA.
Oh, GMA, yeah.
But still, for $1.
Good Morning America's grading now.
This one is pretty dope, though. This is a this is $1. 2017 Bowman Chrome Prospects Mini Blue Shimmer Refractor to 150. Gavin Lux. SGC 8.
Go Dodgers, man.
I mean,
this one.
that's good for someone who's just a Dodgers fan that just wants the card. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he's a place for the Reds now, but he's a.
Should we just do the clickbait title right now? the death of grading or something, right? If we're finding it in the dollar box, does this mean that grading is going downhill?
No, Fernando Tatis Jr. First Bowman paper SGC 7.5 for $1. Wow. Don't ask me why it's a 7.5. It looks nothing like it. Shout out to everybody who's listening on Spotify.
White Sox legend Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Listen, I will tell you this. I have bought I've sent stuff in to get graded, and because comic books, I deal grading on other aspects, it looks absolutely mint. And then when you get it, you're like, what the hell? Like, no matter how you look at it, it happens all the time. There's just something that you miss. I don't know.
Let me ask you, have you guys ever seen the dude on TikTok? He does all baseball card content, and he has glasses, and he's got like a beard. He kind of looks like, not like me, but he has like a dark beard, and he does like flipping. He shows you like baseball flips, like with Comsi and stuff like that, and all. You guys have seen this guy before? No. He's pretty popular on TikTok. So crazy story. He bought a card raw on Comsi. Damn, I want to remember what the card was, and it's driving me crazy.
Are we talking about like baseball card? No, he doesn't have a beard. A baseball card genius is who I was thinking.
And maybe he doesn't have a beard, but I thought he had a beard.
Maybe
anyways,
I don't know.
He bought a card on Comsi, got it, and or I don't know if he sent it to PSA to get graded. He doesn't do a lot of grading. Sent it to PSA to get graded. It came back a 9, and he knew it was a 9 because he checked online. And so if you have it in the PSA, you have the option of sending it to the vault, and they sell it for you on eBay. So he sold the card on. Oh, I remember the card. It was a Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card.
89.
And so he sold it, the PSA 9, for like $300 or something like that, $350, I think. And so after that, he was like, a couple months later, he was looking through his PSA account for some images for TikTok. And he looked and he saw that the Ken Griffey Jr. card that he had sold, that he had graded, it was in his profile as a PSA 10. And so it turns out that somebody else, that PSA 10 sold on eBay through the PSA vault for like $3,000, right? So he's like, he's like, what is going on? So like, he had to reach out and go back and forth. And apparently, like, at one point they said, well, no, it was a PSA 10. And the dude's like, well, dude, like, you told me it was a PSA 9 when you sold it for me on eBay. There's a big difference here. It's in price. And then they came back and said what his original thought was that, oh, well, maybe the person who bought his PSA 9 regraded it and it became a PSA 10. But they keep the same cert number as the PSA 9 is on the PSA 10. That got regraded. So it's like, that's ridiculous. I don't know why they have the same cert number. Some people say, oh, well, it's to keep track of like the grading history, like Carfax, right? But like, number two, it's like, well, damn, like, how did that same card, one get a 9 and then the next time get a 10?
Yeah, if you look up the cert number, wherever you look up cert numbers of graded cards, is it going to show that it was a 9 before and now is a 10? Or is it just going to show that it was
I guess so.
Like CGC, so I know a lot of people that re-crack comic books, because with comic books, you can get them pressed and cleaned. So a lot of times some people will submit a comic book, it won't be pressed and cleaned. Press and cleaning in comic books is socially acceptable, where cleaning cards is not socially acceptable right now. But that's even CGC even offers a service to press and clean your comic book. So what happens is with like the comic book stuff, when you go to submit it, you crack the case. You're supposed to submit your label back into them, your empty label. They'll regrade your comic book, and then they'll take that label and remove it off the census. So I'm surprised that PSA didn't do something similar to that if they're going to recrack it and regrade it. Unless they will regrade cards sometimes if there's a flaw or something on the card that they visually can see, and then say, hey, we did mess this up. We will regrade this, because that does happen sometimes as well.
Well, listen, the whole thing with the eBay and the PSA, it's going to be an absolute debacle. It's going to be a horrible turn of events. It's going to go bad. Nothing good is going to come from that. People are going to lose a lot of money.
The only thing I see that can be very beneficial, like if I'm buying, let's just say I want to buy a Mickey Mantle card off eBay for $300, $400, $500. Regardless if I buy that Mickey Mantle, I want to get it graded because I want to preserve it, and it's going to be, in the case. So I'm buying that card. I don't care what the grade's going to be because I want that card. So having the option to send it directly to PSA to save me money on shipping, time, everything else, that's worth it to me on that. So I can see that being
I will tell you that is a great rebuttal and a good point, because I do think with the vintage cards, you probably it's a lot less. I mean, I guess it just depends on what you're paying. Because it's like, in what you're doing. Like, if it's for your PC, it's perfectly fine. Like, I don't, but let's be realistic. Well, a lot more people are using grading to flip than they are for their PC. But if you want to, like, I saw a guy complaining on Twitter because people were grading base cards. Like, who are you to tell people what they can and can't grade? Like, he's like, oh, it's backing everything up. And I'm like, so what, dude? That's what they want. How are you going to tell somebody how to collect cards? Like, you shouldn't be doing that. It's a stupid thing to say. But the vintage, I feel like you got a little bit of leeway there. But, I mean, think about people who are going to be seeing cards, and like it's just like with grading is so meticulous, especially with the pricing right now. Like, think about this: PSA, people are buying PSA 9s and they're cracking them to sell them raw, because raw is selling for more than PSA 9s right now.
But there's a little story behind that, because about a year ago, PSA changed how they grade on the centering of it. Because before it used to be 40/60, you could still get a 10. Now it's 45/55. Now you can get a 10. So they actually moved, I think, 5 degrees, if I'm not mistaken, with that. But like for me, like I will be sending some cards and get graded. Like I literally just got, in a big lot of cards I got some 86 football, right? So I was digging through the box, but like I have a Jerry Rice right here, rookie card. That's something I want to submit, because even if it gets a 6, I mean, this thing that sucks, by the way, the grading on this, look at the centering on this one. I have all my cards and the whole set, like centering is really good, except for this one. I'm like, I have all the cards. The most expensive card in the set is the grading and the centering. I mean, is Steve Young rookie. I mean, that one's actually in decent centering on that one. But like those two I want to submit to PSA. There's a Reggie White in there. I want to submit that too, because one is their vintage cards. I don't care what, I mean, I think they're going to get a minimum, maybe 7, 8, 9, some of that ballpark. I still want to submit them to that. So that would be beneficial to me, but I can see your point. If you're buying to flip off eBay, this is why I have this. So I can literally dig down, examine the magnifying glass, examine the corners, really do a deep dive into that before I send something to get graded. So I don't know. And I know Cary's all against this. Cary hates
dude. Dude, I'm not a detective. Okay, I'm gonna put my cards. I'm gonna put my cards in a bicycle spoke like they're meant to be. I'm gonna go do a couple laps around the cul-de-sac here, and then I'm gonna just put them in a box. But I mean, I personally do not like's not the right word. I don't like the aesthetic of graded cards. I don't like how they look. Personally, I get why people do it because of the flip game. I totally get that. It makes a lot of sense as a business model for certain people that want to play that game that way. But for me, like personally, like I kind of would prefer a Mickey Mantle with a little patina, a little wear on it, than a perfectly mint 19. I mean, because to me, it's like, okay, obviously, I want a perfectly mint Mickey Mantle card because I want the money. But I'm talking. So let me rephrase this. Yes, I want the mint one for flipping purposes, but I'm talking aesthetically. Like if money didn't matter, this is a dumb conversation because money does matter. But you know what I mean. I like the patina of a little bit of
arguing with yourself right now.
Yes, I'm having an argument with myself because I realize that it doesn't make sense.
I
think just like aesthetically, I definitely don't want like a mint Mickey Mantle that has no character to it, no age to it.
It's like
But
nobody wants
I
a
do
Carhartt.
want one to flip. Yeah.
Nobody wants a brand new Carhartt, right?
Exactly.
They want their Carhartts to look like they've been
Yeah,
working.
I want
in
it to
a
look like I
garage.
work, for a living, but I also don't want to work for a living. So just make it all beat up from the start. You know what I mean?
So
I like it. I understand.
I'll tell you the one thing that I like about grading, and I think is very appealing, is the protection of the card. Because putting in that case, it gives it added protection. I can throw that. You can throw a slab across the room, and it won't damage the card. So that part.
Okay,
2
but it
points.
will-
2 points.
It will damage the
2 points.
case.
It's not like a Nokia phone from the late '90s, early 2000s.
No, you need what are
Next
those
now,
things?
BB?
What's the things they're shilling? The slab bumpers or whatever.
Yeah, the bumpers.
That's what you need. You need a bumper,
bumpers,
and then you're
Yeah.
fine.
We need
Yo,
a bumper in the show.
Did you see? Gaby, his boy makes these really cool slab boxes. So like
No.
you store it's to store your slabs in, right? But it has an open on the sides for display. So
Oh,
like
that's
you can
interesting.
put like 5 or 6
those are
slabs
cool.
in the
The
middle and
velour
then
things.
display ones on the side. I thought
I just
that
like.
was dope.
I want to when I go to a card show, I want to look like I'm a kid who just got sent out to grade school with my backpack. I may have a sack lunch in there, and I'm just throwing cards in there. I don't want to look like I'm on Wall Street like everybody else, with my little briefcase and stuff. Like it's not that serious, guys. You know
I
what I
did
mean?
find a V-Friend slab too at the card show.
Did
You
you?
did?
Did you buy it?
From the convention, a sample slab from
Nice, man.
the convention last year. What's really funny is on the back it had these stickers, and if Cary remembers, these stickers were all over the cafeteria tables. And I, for some odd reason,
Oh, yeah,
reminded,
dude.
because
I
of my
forgot about
backpack,
those.
it was still in my card show
They
backpack.
were everywhere.
And it's on the back of the card, and that I found in the slab. I thought that was hilarious.
Jeez.
Those
Well,
were
speaking
everywhere.
about the card shows, man, did you guys go hunting this weekend? Well, we know Tim did because Tim's pulling out dollar slabs. Only time I've ever found a dollar slab was at a yard sale, and it was like the Marco Murray rookie card, base rookie card, or something like that. I bought it for $1, and I think I ran out on whatnot. I think I got like $3 for it, so it is
not
what
bad.
it is. But
That's a flip,
but
dude.
How about you, Cary? Did you go hunting this weekend?
No, I did. There was one show in the Orlando area, Lake City, but I've heard it was small, and that's like an hour and a half. Everything's an hour and a half away from me. It's not like you. You're right by all these card shows every weekend, and you don't go, Rod.
I do go, and I actually went with my dad or the previous weekend, and we bought tons of wax. And all I did this past week was open up wax boxes. I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Did you
and
film
just
some
pissed
of it for TikTok or
down the drain? I didn't film any of it. I did it for fun.
Look
so
at-
that
look at
I will tell you
you.
this: like
for the love of the
I
game?
opened 2 hobby boxes of Bowman New Chrome football for fun.
Ooh.
Didn't
You
film
did
it.
good too.
Yeah,
You
I did good. Yeah, I pulled the T-Mac or Auto. The
I
Robert
felt
P.
bad
Smith.
because I've been on such a heater lately opening retail. I opened one of those. Each Easter egg I get from Topps gets markedly better, right? The first one I got was like nothing. And then the second one I got an autograph, Hurston Waldrop on
Yeah,
card.
very, very good young pitcher.
Yeah,
for
like
the
a
Atlanta Braves.
$25 auto, $30 auto, maybe on a good day. It had a little ding on it because, of course, it's an Easter egg, and those aren't great for protecting cards. Go figure. But the last one I opened, I got the number to 50 pink parallel and I got a rookie. I got Jacob Wilson, like top 5 rookie in the product probably. So that was sick. But then the next day or day after, I opened. I have this obsession with like the Leaf products. I love like that kind of stuff because people love to hate on it in my videos. But also I kind of like the Prospect Edition. It's the extra edition successor, right?
Oh, that's Panini, not Leaf.
Yeah, Panini.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Panini. But yeah, I said Leaf, but it's Panini. And I pulled the Dylan Cruz to 25 auto out of a blaster box, out of a $25 Walmart blaster box.
Dude, you've been on fire lately, man. Absolutely on fire.
It's wild, man. Like you get on those and then you go through like 6 weeks in the desert and then you come back and you have a couple heaters and then you...
But
I don't think I've ever pulled anything of significance myself out of a pack.
I think it's because of the volume that I open.
Yeah, it is the
honestly, because
volume.
I've pulled 2 1-of-1s in blasters, a T Higgins and a Nikola Jovic out of Flux. Because who's opening Flux? You know how many 1-of-1s are in Flux products right now? Because nobody opens them, and they're not opening them because they're gonna get valuable. They're not opening them because they look weird. I kind of dig it, but most people don't like them. But yeah.
I would say I'll talk about Walmart here in a minute because I got a story about Walmart, but we need to talk about what's happening this Wednesday. All right.
Yes.
We're doing the grand opening of Debit Cards. We're doing a massive raid train. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going all the way to 10 p.m. at night. And we have tons of sellers. We are co-streaming. I will be live multiple times. Tim over the years will be live. Cary American Arbitrage Cards will be live. So if you guys want to come hang out with us, we will be live all day long. We'll put a link down in the description down below here for Debit Cards. Come join. If you guys use any of our codes when you guys are in our shows, we'll tell your codes during the shows. You get $5 off any orders of $10 or more. So you guys definitely want to come check it out. We're having tons of giveaways every hour. There's be giveaways all day long. Anything you want to add to that, Tim?
I'm super stoked.
Yeah,
I
man.
think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to 1,000 members, and we've done some crazy sales numbers so far. For just being open for barely 2 months, I think it's pretty amazing what we've been able to build community-wise so far on dibditcards.com. But, yeah, definitely come by and check us out. It's going to be a lot of variety. Some of our former guests here on the podcast are going to be live. Ivan Watts the Breaks will be live with us. So there's a lot of great sellers, a lot of great cards, a lot of good deals to be have. And then progressive shipping, too, which was one of the things that we offer on Dibdit Cards. A lot of these places, and I mean, a lot of these sellers on Dibdit Cards, you can buy one card, and then it's going to be free shipping for most of the rest of the day if you buy anything from them, whether in the marketplace or in that auction.
It's I would say one of the best. There's a couple really good killer features on District. Dibdit Cards is powered by District, but like the progressive shipping thing's insane because last week I did 4 auctions. I started on Sunday and I went through Thursday. And what happens is like I charge a certain amount for the first card that somebody buys, and then after that it's free shipping. That's how I do it. Everybody does it a little different, but it's not just free shipping for the rest of that show on Sunday, for example. There's people I imagine who bought on Sunday that were getting free shipping for all of my shows that week because I ship once a week, and that allows people to basically pile up cards at a discounted shipping. It almost feels like ComC a little bit, how people will stack up cards and then ship to themselves when they want, except it's an auction format and it's over a shorter period of time, like a week or less typically.
I would say for those people out there that are on the fence about live selling or are afraid that they're not going to have a falling sub, come check this out because one thing that we did set up is co-streaming, where we are partnered up with another seller during these shows. So we have 2 people going at one time, and that way, even if you're brand new and you haven't ever sold before, you can help build off our audiences. That's the whole purpose to this. It's the community building aspect of District and Debit Cards that we actually really, truly love. And also, too, like, guys, it's not going to be like Whatnot where you see, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 cards on there. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to see a lot of $5, $10, $15, $20 cards. We saw someone sell a $100 card this morning during the live show. So, like, I want to make sure we set the proper expectations for you guys, but it is growing. As it grows, there will be some more high dollar cards on there. But I mean, right now, like, it's a good way for you guys to move those products that you're pulling out of packs. Good way for you to go to the like we preach on here every single week, the value boxes, the $1, $2, $5, $10, $15, $20 boxes. Buy those cards, bring them on there, sell them, make some money, and move forward with it. So it's a good time. I'm super excited for it, man. I'm super excited to hang out with a lot of people that are going to come to the shows and see where it goes from here. So, but speaking about going, all right. So the other day I went to Walmart. So let me backtrack here. A couple months ago, I take my steps in the school every single morning. And when I take them to school, I pass a Walmart. And one day I just had a gut feeling. You had that gut feeling. You're like, I should stop in and check this out or do something.
Yeah, you should probably call a hotline. That's called gambling addiction.
Usually I just have to use the bathroom.
Yeah, okay, here we go. All right. So I had a gut feeling to stop in Walmart. And when I got in the Walmart that morning, the distributor was there setting up. So I started talking to the guy, and I found out what time he comes every single week. So I was like, well, perfect. So I knew the top celebration was coming out this week, and I was like, or last week, and I was like, okay, I want to go pick up this. I am super pumped. I'm a huge mascot fan, so I want a mascot autograph. I want to rip open this box. And so I go to Walmart, and I go there, and there's a huge line of people there. And I'm like, what the hell? This has never been like this before. I come to find out it was Pokemon was at 151 release day. So there's probably like 15 people in line, and I started talking to the guys there, and then they started explaining the process. So like the guy comes in, the guy distributes, and then he actually stands there and he allows everyone to go in a single file line, and they allowed to pick one product off the shelf. But the cool thing is he asked who's here for sports cards. And only out of the 15 people there, only 3 of us raised our hands. So we got first dibs to go through the sports cards. Of course, Celebration wasn't there. So now I start panicking. I'm like, well, all these guys are waiting in line for something really good. What am I going to do? So I was like, I'm getting in line. I'm going to buy some Pokemon cards. So I literally got in line. I walked through, and I got maybe 1 box and a couple packs of Pokemon cards, stuff like that. But because I had FOMO. So my question to you guys is, have you guys ever been to a card show or card shop and you saw other people starting to buy stuff and start getting FOMO and like feel like you're really missing out and you just start buying stuff that they're buying?
No. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because generally I'm broke as hell. So like,
Okay.
I'm like, am I going to buy, $70 cards, or am I going to spend $60 on a mega box? Or
Wait, you still can get the FOMO though. I mean, you still can get the FOMO.
No, I don't, because I've it's been so long of me feeling this way that I just.
I mean, what is the game right now? $60 ETB or whatever, and what are they flipping it for? 110 on eBay?
No, they were $25. So I didn't get the box. I missed out on the boxes, but I got the other pack, which was like $25. So I don't know. I think they're selling for like $50 on eBay. I just kept it.
I would buy one. I'd probably open it though, but like I would definitely buy one if I was there and there was a line and it was obvious that I could pick one up. I would personally.
I will tell you, at the card show this weekend, every single Pokemon table was absolutely packed.
Dude, Pokemon is on fire, and it's so hard for me to like bargain box that stuff. I mean, definitely at $1 if I see some cool looking like art cards like EXs. Obviously, if you can find some full arts, I understand the difference between all that. But beyond that, I don't really know. Like it's got to be cheap enough for me to go like, I'll run this through Dibdit cards and hopefully get $3 or $4.
See, like for me, I guess it's interesting because I feel like it's. What do you think? Do you think I'd say that the collector to flipper ratio in Pokemon is a lot more collector side than it is with sports cards.
That's what I hear. There's a lot more collectors.
A lot more collectors because you can also play it as a game. I think that's the biggest difference between, you have between sports cards, because you're buying sports cards to hopefully they go up in value as an investment, where people are buying them to collect, people are buying them to play the game, and people are buying them to flip. So I think that has a lot more alternative, I guess, for a lot of people.
I could tell you this much as somebody who opens packs, pretty often on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. Not almost every single video, maybe barring a few, it's if you don't do well, it's like you lost money. That's all it's about in sports cards for the most part. There's a lot less, especially on some of the newer products. And that's the thing about even card collectors, because when I was a kid and I was purely collecting, right, I was still going through Beckett, putting my cards in the binders, and then putting stickers on each binder page with how much that card was worth on Beckett. So it always kind of mattered how much these cards were worth. And I'm sure that matters too to the Pokemon collectors. They want to have a collection that's valuable, whether they intend to flip it or not. But for me, it's like anytime I open and I don't get a good card, and I'm a flipper, so I understand. People are like, you wasted $8, you wasted $10. I'm making content, so I'm not. But let's just say I was buying that and I just lost $10. I got cards out of it.
Yeah.
I literally got cards. You guys don't like cards now? I mean, if you're only opening it as a scratch off, what's the point?
Yeah.
Just go do a scratch off.
So that's probably how you get that's probably why Pokemon product is such a commodity in the world of Pokemon, right? Because like for me, you and Rod, like we can find a $40, $50 card, sports card in a bargain box for $1, $2, $3, $5, right? That happens all the time.
Yep.
Even though some people will say, like, I don't understand how you guys do it, but like you can do it if you put in the work, right? You're never going to find a $50 Pokemon card in a bargain box unless it's at like a yard sale or a flea market, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that in order to get these Pokemon cards that have like significant value, I'd say probably 8 out of 10 of these people that get those cards are probably ripping the product and getting the cards that way, because it's not like, oh man, this Pikachu is flying under the radar, like nobody knew. He's a sleeper right now. Like they don't have sleepers in Pokemon, right? Like,
well, and also too, they don't have they don't have like the short prints. They don't have the variation. They do have variations and other stuff like that, but not to the extent like baseball does. All the different image variations, and then you have the prospecting, and all the other things. Like there's a lot more that goes in depth, a lot more nuances when it comes to sports cards compared to Pokemon.
They've kind of got the perfect setup too, because the fact that they could just do these alt arts, a couple like shiny cards, and people are just fighting over it. They don't have to worry. They don't have to innovate like Topps does. Like Topps does some really cool stuff, like the MLB patch is huge, but like there are parallels on parallels on parallels on parallels. You want a number to 50 Topps rookie, there's probably several different variations and colorways of just the number to 50. And that's to keep people getting stuff out of packs and build that. But in Pokemon, they don't need to do that. It's kind of amazing.
But I mean, think about this. You just made a great point. You talk about all the different colors and all the different parallels out there. How ugly are a lot of those parallels? Like they don't pop like the eye appeal test. You're not like, oh man, I need to have that parallel. You know what I mean? Like, do I need a green one? Do I need an orange one? No.
Well, I'll tell you this. It drives me crazy because there's a lot of Bowman snobs, and like it drives me crazy when people are like, it just like. A card is a green because a lot of times with green refractors, they're parallel refractors. They're not hobby refractors. So even though the card is numbered to 99, there's cards that are like numbered to 499 that have more value for certain players than a card that's numbered to 99 because people put their nose up at green. People also put their nose up at like pink and purple refractors too. Like it's like, well, damn, I guess I have to find a out of 5 red, or out of 25 orange, or out of 50 gold. And then don't get me started on the difference between a true color refractor and a shimmer. Or, like a true gold refractor and a true gold shimmer can be a drastic difference in prices when it comes especially to Bowman. Yeah.
What's the end game here for these companies making parallels on parallels on parallels? Are we going to start to have the variations of the variations? We're going to have the gold
we
shimmer.
already have that though, don't we?
Gold, yeah. They're starting to mix there's mixed colorways and stuff. Like there's some of them that are like 3 different colors now. It feels like, or like, I mean, what's the end game here?
And I to play devil's advocate, right? Yeah, there's 5 million, parallels, right? But what's like the OG like people in the hobby, right? Who build sets? Like, imagine how much fun and how much like of a actual like task in the journey to like complete a set, or B, in today's modern world, what people like to do is complete rainbows. Like there are some people that spend 5 years.
Yeah.
I saw a conversation the other day. It was like, at what point do you give up on trying to finish a rainbow? Right? Like some people spend 5 years trying to finish a rainbow.
Rainbows were already with one of ones super improbable to get, right? And now like Bowman U's aren't there multiple one of ones in Bowman U, for example? There's the Sapphire, right? Then there's the base, right? There's superfractors. Then it just seems like there's so much that would have to go right to get a perfect rainbow nowadays.
Well, just like the Spellbound though too, when people try to spell it the different names and stuff like that. That's another one where people have a really hard time doing it because someone may have that card and they don't want to give it up because they're trying to complete the set as well. But going back to the whole Pokemon thing, I think the biggest thing is the eye appeal to the cards, because they're not just cards; they are a piece of art. Because when you look at those cards compared to like, how many times have you guys opened up, or Cary, you do this all the time, I hear this in your videos, but how many times have you seen a new product drop in baseball, football, basketball, and you look at the card, you're like, I hate this design. That doesn't happen in Pokemon. They come out like, oh man, look how cool this graphic is. Because they take the time to make those have really good eye appeal when it comes to the cards. But also too is, think about this, Tim, when you were at the card show, you said there was a ton of people there at the Pokemon tables. What was the average age of those people at the Pokemon tables?
I mean, it's the most diverse group of people
Correct.
you ever see out there. Like people from like all different like ages, all different ethnic backgrounds. You know what I see a lot of? I see a lot of couples.
Yes.
A lot of couples, whether boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, married, whatever. Like I see a lot of couples at the card shows who are doing the Pokemon together. You see it every once in a while in sports cards,
but it's very few.
Not as much as you do in Pokemon. In Pokemon, I mean, like they're walking around together. They each have their own binder or their own, case, and it's so interesting because like I was walking by a table and the guy was mostly Pokemon, but he had like a couple boxes of sports. So for me, that's like, okay, this guy might have some sleepers, not Pikachu sleepers, but some baseball or football sleepers in his sports box. And like this girl walks up and she's like, do you have any Pitapoo? Peepoo? I don't remember what the name of the character
obviously.
was. Pitpo? I think it was Pitpo. And the guy is like a jacked dude. Yeah. And he's like, oh, no Pitpo today. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then he's like,
just
well, you
lifts
got
weights and does Pokemon. That's 2025, bro.
I don't know how he's going to catch them all. He doesn't look like he can barely run. But then he's like, asked the girl, he's like, you got anything to sell? And she's like, maybe. And she like whips it out. And I'm just like,
whoa! What they whip out?
Whips out the cards.
Okay,
man.
just checking.
I'll tell you that it's a fascinating thing to me, and like you guys know me, like I love to learn. Like learning is like there's nothing I enjoy like learning something new. I am struggling to be able to like. There's shout out to the guys No Flow Card Culture. I sent you guys. They just did a Cock-a-Wild character case break. They've been trying to learn and teach about Pokemon. So, like, they've been having, like, these Friday night streams where they kind of, like, go over a little bit about Pokemon. And I'm just, like, I'm lost. Like, it feels like it's too late for me, right? Like, at this stage of my life and my career, it feels like it's too late for me. And, like, you deal with a lot more fakes. We're going to talk about a fake got this weekend, but you deal with a lot more fakes and stuff like Pokemon. Like I would not know where to begin for determining if something was a fake or not.
Well, it's just like anything when we do picking, like it's touch, the feel. There's there's a lot of things that play into it.
You got to lick the card, and if it's acidic, it's fake.
That's exactly what you do. So make sure you look at every single Pokemon card you guys find. And that way you can be able to tell if it's fake or not. But now I would say just last thing I want to say on this topic is like I think that Pokemon has a giant advantage over sports cards because for one, sports cards are outpriced kids right now. Okay, kids aren't.
I don't believe that. I think that's
you buying a pack of cards compared to buying a pack of sports cards. I mean, you can literally go to Walmart.
Pokemon's expensive, dude, because you got to buy it on the secondary market unless you're. You're basically waiting in line at Walmart right now.
You go to any sports card shop or any like Pokemon shop, they can get packs of cards for $5, $8, $7.
You can get packs of cards, sports cards for $5, $8.
It's different though, man. I don't know how to.
What are you trying to say? Like
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
People don't want Donruss. People don't want Top Series 1. They only want the good, like the high end stuff. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is you see more kids in the Pokemon world than you're going to see in sports cards.
I disagree.
You disagree on that?
1000% disagree. There are way more kids into sports cards than there are Pokemon cards.
I don't know about that, man. I disagree. Let us know. That's the audience here. Let us know in the comments down below. Do you think there's more kids right now in sports cards or more kids involved in Pokemon?
I'm contractually obligated to say the thing that's said every time sports cards and Pokemon are compared. Charizard can't tear his ACL. I don't know how we want to put that in. Just put it in somewhere. Put it in somewhere.
I hear that once a card show.
I know. It's like the most cliche thing at this point. We get it. We get it. He's super in shape and he can't get injured. We understand.
I mean, this is another thing too.
He's also a dragon.
Yeah, which are real and dinosaurs aren't. So
this is true. Tim fully believes that, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So I will tell you this though. That's super interesting. Is that like I see these kids at the card shows. They make me feel insecure about everything. Okay, these kids have, and I know like a lot of them probably got like the leg up from like their parents, and I'm hoping I'd be able to provide something like that for my son eventually, But like these kids, they're wheeling and dealing. Like this dude, Cary, one of the kids that sat down with us at trade night at National. I saw him at the card show this weekend. And he's a little bit more grown now, and he's literally in not even like a Zion case. My guy had a like suitcase, like he was getting ready to catch a red eye, and he rolled into the mall, and he like it's smart because he uses it as a seat too, and he's just sitting at the tables like wheeling and dealing like $300, $400, $500, $600 slabs. I'm like, where did I go?
And you're like sitting there with a stack of $8 cards trying to figure out how you're gonna cut it down.
What's the best you could do?
Cut it down to $4, hopefully.
How about $5?
I know, man.
Can someone please invent the case that actually folds out to like a chair with like a cup holder?
Dude. I mean, there are people that have all types of cool seats.
Oh, I know.
Like that.
Like someone needs to like patent that, bring that out there because I would buy one.
Gotta plug in my laptop. 1 sec.
Yeah, no problem there. Well, it's always I love, you know what, Tim? I love how Cary's so prepared every week for these shows. He comes in, he brings the heat, he just sits back. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to put this on. I don't know about you. How do you feel about that, you know?
I don't know. Are you just trying to get me to say out loud publicly what I told you in the chat when I said, thank God Rod's the brains of the operation?
Do it. Is that what it is?
I mean, yeah. Rod's the brains.
Dude,
you're the muscle and I'm the beauty.
I'm the one, like I'm you know, like in Wheel of Fortune, I'm just spinning the numbers or the letters. Yeah, I don't even know what she does. That's what I'm doing.
Cary White, is that what we're gonna call you?
Mm-hmm.
Cary White. Well, speaking about being the brains of your operation, how about we talked about Pokemon? How about the guy that's actually listing Pokemon boxes for sale right now on eBay? But he's putting in the description, this is just an image. I'm putting this on here. Do not bid on this if you're a human. Do not bid on this if you're only bid on this if you're a bot. And it's literally trying to trick the bots. Because for those that don't know, if you're a sneakerhead, video game scalper for like systems, Pokemon cards, sports cards, people have these bots that you can buy. And what they do is as soon as the website drops, that second, it automatically goes in and purchases the item. So they have it set up in the algorithm where when the item hits eBay, newly listed item, it automatically purchases the item at a certain price point. And this guy put up a picture of, and he's selling, literally in the description says, this is the picture of that. So what do you think of that, Tim?
I mean, there's a part deep down inside my soul that finds it amusing. And, you know,
yes,
like, it's pretty funny, but in the grand scheme of things, it's awful, you know. But
it's also somebody who doesn't care about their eBay account right there, because it's not going to last long if they're doing that. Even though it's
how many have they sold? They sold like
5.
40. Oh, 5.
5. I saw 5. Last time I looked, it was like 5 of those when it was sent over.
How many of you guys have accidentally bought a digital card thinking it was a real card?
Never.
Never?
No. Have you done that?
I've done it. Yeah.
Really?
I got refunded though.
Okay. So
speaking Topps Bunt RPAs are tempting at like $2, and then you're like, oh,
I'm
wait.
like, man, I'm about ready to get a steal on this autograph. It was like a Colton Cowser autograph, and it was like $12. It was like number like 99, and it was like, this is no wonder. This is a digital card. But yeah, the guy reluctantly gave me my money back. Speaking of Colton Cowser, he's out 6 to 8 weeks
really?
with a fractured thumb, which sucks for my Orioles.
By the way, before I forget, guys, whoever entered the giveaway last week, we hit 1,000 subs. We are going to be giving it away at the end of the show. So to see if you win, you actually have to wait to the end of the show to see if.
I never got a message for the person who the happy birthday Ivan giveaway. Did either one of you guys get a message?
No, I did not get a message.
I didn't notice, at least.
We did not get a message, so we'll give you another week to try to get that. You want to get that Debit gift card, man. And what else?
Wait, you didn't get a message?
No, I didn't get a message
gift
on
card either?
the gift card, and I didn't get a message on the. Was it Jaden Daniels that you want to give away last week?
Drake May, rated
Drake May. So I figured you'd keep your Jaden Daniels close to your heart. I got it.
Dude, I've been stockpiling. I've been using that collects $10 credit every month to buy a Jaden Daniels Prism rookie card. It's the smartest thing I've been doing.
Did you buy any fake ones, though, while you're on there?
No.
But you did buy a fake card this weekend, didn't you?
I did. Yes, I did.
So let's talk about that. I'll pull it up here. Why don't you give us a little background, kind of what happened there? Let's talk a little bit more about this fake card you purchased.
So I found this guy at the card show. He had 2 boxes. One box was $1, one box was $5. This is when I got some of these slabs. And there was all types of insane stuff in there. I got some really, really good cards. I saw this card, right? For those of you that are listening on Spotify, this is a Connor Bedard. It's not a SPX, but it sure as hell looked like it, right? When you're digging through a bargain box, a lot of times, like you're building a pile, right? Like you don't necessarily investigate. I thought flip it to the back. This is where it gets you though. Look at the back. Like if you just the back of the card, it shows the team image and everything. So like it looked like it didn't look like it was a non-licensed card. So I thought for sure that was a Upper Deck SPX Connor Bedard rookie card, which would have been worth approximately $100 because those are only numbered out of 200. But look at that thing.
Wow. It's a prospector's edge. Wow.
Yes, prospector's edge, rookie FX. Like, bro, I was sitting outside. I had stepped outside for a second for the card show to call my wife and check in and see how she was doing, and with the baby. And so I was sitting out there. I was like, let me just look this Connor Bedard card up. And I saw it, and I was like, the image is almost identical. So I was like, oh my God, this is like a $100 card. But then in my mind, I was like, I don't remember it being numbered. So then I go and I pull it out and I'm like looking at it and I'm like, I'm typing in rookie FX and I'm like, I'm not getting anything official coming up.
Yeah.
And then I look at it and I'm just like, holy smokes, this is a complete bootleg card. And apparently they're selling them on Etsy. And like they have them for like Wembenyama. There's a whole bunch of like ones out there and they're done really well, obviously.
The position's in French. It seems legit.
Is it really? I didn't even notice that. Oh, it is.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot, man. If you go on Etsy, there's a lot of fake cards out there that you can get. Some are really cool though. Like if you get them for your collection, just something cool to have. I remember back in the day, like when I used to go to sports card shows in like the 90s, they used to always have the fake Michael Jordans and the fake like Shaquille O'Neals. But they were just like, they always had like a gold border around them or like real sparkly. And you can just tell that they were.
What do I do with this card?
Man, sent to PSA.
I seen people, they've been grading them.
Really?
Somebody graded it. I can't remember who it was, but I saw one that was graded by like a good bootleg. Let's grade a bootleg card with a bootleg grading company.
GMA in the house, allegedly.
Yeah, GMA is not bad. There's some really bad ones.
Well, Tim, don't feel so bad because you're not the only one that had the fake card. Because, we talked about the Messi situation, couple weeks ago or last week?
7 weeks ago.
Several weeks ago. Listen, we've been away. I'm all messed up where we are and stuff like that. And there's been an update on that situation. The Athletic put out an article this week stating that PSA is going to be worked directly with Topps to rectify the situation. So I guess that you can submit those cards back in, and then PSA Topps is going to swap them out, and I guess provide them a real autograph card to those people. So. Which is good. I mean, they should step up and do that. But, I mean, at what point in time is like, how many other cards out there are like this, do you think? That's that worries me because, like we talked about before, is when they do this, Topps isn't flying out to the person's house and watching them do this. They're literally hiring the family member and agent, getting them signed a form saying, hey, I witnessed this, and that they're just submitting the cards back, autographed.
So did they admit that the autographs weren't real in the article?
In the article, they stated that from what I can remember, it stated in there that Topps said that they had a problem in the past with, I don't know if Topps or they said the Panini had a problem in the past, but it's been a common known issue in the past that Messi's brother has signed cards, autographs before for him. So they are going to replace them for them because PSA has deemed them non-authentic.
Replace them with what?
New autograph cards, I guess.
Of who?
Of the same card, Messi. I guess they're going to have a real Messi autograph
Sandro
card.
Tonali.
Yeah,
is who they chose.
So I mean, that was my understanding. They're going to swap it out with another Messi. I mean, because think about it. I mean, he's probably the biggest hit in those cards anyway, and
so
they're going to.
How much you want to bet they get those cards and they send it to grading and PSA says it's not authentic?
Oh man, I don't know. They have to cover their butt this time. So I think Topps will literally send someone personally out there to get the cards signed because you can't have another mess up like this. There's no possible way. You know what I mean?
Listen.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Instagram videos soon of, the sizzle reel of him, just basically signing cards. And you know how they do the videos and they're always like dragging the cards across a table and everybody's like, it's a PSA 6 now. That's what we're probably going to get.
Well, listen, we've talked about the bad, the good. Let's talk about something great. It was the opening week for baseball.
Yeah, dude.
I know Tim's favorite time of the year. I mean, this is where people made the rosters. Now you're digging down deep. Celebration Tops just dropped. People are chasing all the mascot cards, autograph cards. But what would you say the first week, man? I mean, good a week. You see the Yankees had their new bats, the big controversy of the new bats right now.
Oh, people are losing their minds over the torpedo bats.
Yeah,
I mean, if they're legal, it doesn't bother me. But people, if it was anybody but the Yankees or the Astros,
Correct.
it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But if it's the Yankees or the Astros, it's give them empire.
Give them to my West Sacramento A's. We're 2-2 right now.
Have you looked at a box score? It doesn't. It just says Athletics.
Yeah,
there's
no
city name.
No city. It's so weird. Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to do for cards.
I don't know, and it's so confusing too because I think they have the patch on one that's like representing Sacramento. There's the super small Ricky Henderson one, which should be bigger, and then on the other sleeve they have Las Vegas because the Las Vegas Advertising Bureau sponsored them. So it's like just a weird conglomeration, and then all they're doing is just trotting out players that'll be on the Yankees. Anybody that's any good on the A's will be on the Yankees in 2 years.
So it's interesting because there's probably about shout out to oh my god, I'm gonna butcher his name, Big Bob's Cards on Twitter. He's one of the guys I really like.
Wait, did you say you're gonna butcher Big Bob? The name?
Well,
Big
no,
Bob?
because I don't know if that's his. That's his. The actual
Big Bob.
His actual name on Twitter.
It's the easiest name to say, Bob. I'm gonna butcher the name Bob. So,
and I don't know. Robert. I don't know if he's watching or not. But anyways, he put out a list of like 10 guys that are even after the first 2 games in AAA that are just way too good to be playing in AAA, and those are probably the guys that I would keep my eye out on the most. I mean, Kyle Manzardo looks fantastic. His early stuff is in a Tampa Bay Ray uniform. His rookies came out last year in a Cleveland Guardian uniform. He's off to a hot start. Obviously, Aaron Judge with the torpedo. He's not using a torpedo bat, though, I don't think. But he's got like 8 home runs already.
9 home runs in the opening game with the new bats was a coincidence.
Yeah. And then you have but then you got people like Rafael Devers, who is just, I feel bad for the guy. He struck out like 12 times in his first 16 at bats. So like stuff like that, like baseball is such a fluctuating sport that
could you imagine like
crazy.
peak Andros Steendial, whatever they call that, Mark McGwire with the torpedo bat.
Oh my god,
dude, 700 home runs.
Yeah. He breaks Hank Aaron's record in 1 year.
But the AAA has 2 games under their belt. I think the rest of the minor leagues seasons start April 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So it's gonna be interesting. I know they put out the cover art for the next Bowman release. I think it's James Wood and damn it, can't remember who the other person is on the front of the box, but. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be it's a long season, so play your cards right. Don't. It's just like anything else. Obviously we don't give financial advice here, but don't over or underreact to anything. You got to trust your gut and remember that it's a huge difference. Like there's gonna be guys that get called up and get sent down and stuff like that. It's just part of the game. Jackson Holliday hit a home run already. That's good for Jackson Holliday people because. Last year when he came, they put him in way too early, and then he was struggling. He got sent back down. Like his cards dropped like 40%, and it was an absolutely perfect time to buy. They've gradually gone back up, not to like his peak, but I mean to see him hit a home run early in the season is obviously a good sign for Jackson Holliday investors.
So I got a question for you because I'm getting back into baseball now, especially being on this podcast, hanging out with Tim. I'm getting more and more interested in prospecting and looking into this. So what advice would you give to our viewers out there that are watching this that want to start getting into baseball? I know baseball, like you said, it's a very, very long season, 162 games. There's a lot of games. People get injured. People get sent down to minors. So leading up to the All-Star break, what are you looking for right now with players? Are you just focused on all the big prospects that were talked about in the off season there, or is there something else that you're looking for? I mean, what kind of advice can you give these people leading up to the All-Star break?
Obviously, this is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. But I will make sure that you guys are members of debitcards.com because I am planning on doing a little bit of a baseball live to kind of guide people through buying and selling baseball cards. I think that would be a fun topic to kind of do. But There's a couple of things you want to look for because mid-season is a time for a call-up. So you want to watch those guys in AAA that have the potential to be called up. I think one things that's super slept on is the guys that have rookie cards in Series 1, but they don't have base rookies. So, for example, a couple years ago, James Outman came on strong as a rookie, right? And his didn't have a base rookie. He only had a silver pack rookie. And they were selling for, at one point, like $50. And I was finding them in the dollar boxes because he was a rookie that nobody knew about it. It was Series 1. But then when he blew up, everybody's like, where are his cards? He doesn't have any cards. And the only card he had was a Series 1 silver pack rookie. So it's like, you got to pay attention to stuff like that. Like Drake Baldwin is a guy I talked about all winter long. Because he was a fast rising prospect for the Atlanta Braves. He ended up making the opening day roster because their starting catcher, Sean Murphy, got hurt. His first Bowman is an auto only. So everything else that's not a first Bowman auto of his sells for crazy money. I was selling his Bowman Platinum autos for big money, considering what I was paying for them. So like it's stuff like that. Like there's going to be guys that are just going to be way like hard to get and because they're already priced out. But just it's if you're a fan of baseball, even if you're not a fan of baseball, box score watching is huge, and Cary will tell you when it comes to like basketball and football, a lot of it is highlight reels, it's social media. What are people talking about on social media? Like imagine back in the day when you were a kid and you would watch SportsCenter Top 10, right? Like if they like those are the type of things that are going to drive
Saquon
prices.
Jumping backwards over that defender.
Oh my God, his cards
made
a
lot of
people
times. A lot of money. And I was going to add to the baseball discussion a little here. I feel like baseball might be the ultimate bargain box play. Mm-hmm. You guys, I mean, 100%. Obviously people are prospecting. We're not giving any advice. I dabble in that a little bit too, as far as financially. But if you're paying attention to box scores, if you're paying even attention to like what's happening, with some highlights in baseball, like if that, the Yankees hit all those home runs the first game, whatever, if you're paying attention, you can go to bargain boxes and find these guys like James Outman. Mm-hmm. I did this a couple years ago with Ellie De La Cruz, who was huge. He had that four cycle game. And I went to my local bargain box at Legacy Sports Cards in Vegas, and I bought like $60 Bowman prospect cards, like 2022. They weren't first. And I doubled my money. I also didn't like gouge. I'm like, I'm going to take these and I'm going to turn a quick little profit and move on. And that's what I did. And you can do that. Like there's so much baseball product out there, especially with all the Bowman first stuff out there, all the Bowman stuff, that if you're paying attention to what's happening, you can go to these bargain boxes before they're updated, before people, because most shops are not going to dig through for to take a card that was worth $1 that's now worth $10. They're not going to dig through most shops.
It's not worth their time.
Take it out. They're just going to let you get the $10 card.
And the big difference is center fielder, second base, first base, third base. All those guys have potential value. When you look at the players on a football field, right guard, left tackle, right tackle. Like you could throw all those. None of those guys are gonna have value. It sucks, and I disagree with it. I think it's horrible. But like those guys are like those cards are irrelevant. So like, and when you're looking at in football, and even on the defensive side of the ball,
I mean,
I put this out there: the rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, silver prism rookie card sells for $2. Why that shouldn't be the case? That doesn't make sense to me.
There are still plays for offensive linemen and defensive linemen.
For sure, absolutely.
But it's typically autographs and like, if I'm finding Will Campbell's one that I've been picking up and flipping a little bit lately.
I bought one this weekend.
But you gotta like get him cheap enough. One. That's basically because he's undervalued a lot of times when you find him, and he's not. And you obviously aren't going to be making $100 on it either. I picked up a color match yellow to 75. I think I paid $12. I don't know what I paid, but I'm hoping, with the draft coming up and him getting drafted, I should be able to make money as is, but I could even make a little bit more.
Cary, move a little closer to your microphone. You sound a little farther away. So, okay. Also for those who don't know, listen home, Will Campbell is offensive lineman for LSU, and he is one of the top picks for offensive linemen. So I agree. I think leading up to the draft and coming prospect in the NFL, linemen have more value than they do once they're in the NFL for a while. But Tim, I was going to say, and not trying to give us more work to do here, but I think it'd be a kind of a cool feature since we talk about this a lot on here. And this is something that we really focus on Bargain Box, but to really help educate our viewers here. Maybe we should start putting in like top 10 prospects for football, top 10 prospects for baseball, or maybe put that in the, for those who don't know, on Debit Cards, we actually have a Discord area, a chat area where we can put a chat. So maybe that's something we should do so people can help educate these people for live shows that, hey, who to look out for, potentially, hey, this is something to buy, or if you guys come across this, I think that might be a good thing for us to do. I mean,
yeah, I'll do it after I do all my buying. I'll let you guys know.
Yes, dude.
This is what the best card to buy last month was. Yeah. No longer.
Look at that. Yeah, there we go. So we're horrible thing there. We're horrible people. But yes, you know what I'm saying though. But speaking about horrible people, I got to get something off my chest here. And the story when people say that you should never meet your heroes because if you meet your heroes and it's a bad experience, that it could just ruin everything that you know about them.
Did you run into Jeff Wilson this week?
No, I didn't run into Jeff Wilson here. I'll tell you this: like growing up, this guy was a superstar. This guy was at my birthday party when I was 8 years old. All right. And then I heard, listen.
What?
No, listen, just let me finish, man. This really bothers me, man. I'm telling you.
Was
this
it
really
Roy Rogers?
No, dude. This man was at my birthday party when I was 8 years old. He's a mega movie star now, and I heard in the news this week that Spider-Man has robbed a Pokemon store of $10,000 worth of cards.
And times have gotten tough. He's getting older, and he's trying to make it,
bro.
But
I saw the guy.
He's in Virginia, right?
In Virginia.
Yeah.
So I was at the Annandale Sports Card Show, not the most recent one, but it was 3 weeks ago. I have to go back and look at the footage because I'm sure I have a clip of him. Dude is literally in a full-blown Spider-Man costume. He was standing at the Pokemon table. So it's interesting because at that, I don't know if it was that show that he stole it from or if it
wasn't a show, it was a card shop. He broke into a card shop, I think. And
did he?
Yeah, he's a card shop.
I thought it was a card.
Is that his
show?
like day-to-day outfit? He's just like rocking the Spider-Man gear every day.
I used to wear a Batman outfit, Batman costume.
I mean, it's commitment, but when you got to go to the bathroom, I imagine it's difficult.
Yeah, okay. And then I'll pull it up here. Well, keep talking about it. You said that you saw the guy?
I saw Spider-Man, yeah, a guy dressed in Spider-Man at a card show in Virginia. And, I guess he did steal it from a shop.
Yeah, Gaming Giant in Fairfax, Virginia. He stole $10,000 in Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and other cards. A man on March 16th, dressed as Spider-Man, walked into the shop and stole that stuff. He was
the police report. Old. The police filling out that report had to have had a giggle, I would imagine.
Is he wearing pants or is he wearing scrubs?
He's wearing like one of those hoodie sweatshirts.
Yeah. Okay, so this is not the same guy then.
Oh, it's not the same guy?
No,
okay.
This is not the same guy.
So was this the actual Spider-Man?
Allegedly. My apologies to the guy who was wearing the Spider-Man costume.
Yeah, wow, bro.
The Annandale card show. He is not the thief. You're not the father.
But he allegedly. We don't know that. I mean, we technically don't know who Spider-Man really is. I mean, I heard what names being thrown out like Peter Parker, Miles Morales. I don't know who he really is though. So it's
I'm glad you cleared that up for me before I
Scott Pollard.
Before Tim's gonna be at a sports card show jumping Spider-Man because he's stealing stuff. But
shout out to Eloy the Goat. Apparently he got ejected in a high school basketball game for fighting Scott
Pollard, dude.
Yeah, I saw that too. So, Tim, let me ask you this. Do you think that guy's going to still dress as Spider-Man now, going to the sports card shows by you? Because I would be afraid if I was him. Like, think that, just like you just did.
No, I looked at that guy, this guy who got arrested. His Spider-Man costume is not, like, as official as this guy. So, like, this guy was, like, he looked like at any moment in time, web was going to come out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's levels of Spider-Man costumes. Yeah. There's the hoodie. Then there's just the suit that's kind of like from Party City. Then there's like the full latex.
Yeah,
gear.
he was.
Then there's like the guys who have like the homebrew, the home built like web slingers and stuff. You know, there's levels.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard this story, my first thing when you read a story, you envision what's happening. I literally picture this guy is hanging from the ceiling, just shooting web and just grabbing Pokemon cards off everyone's tables. Like,
tell you this: if I ever have a shop and somebody can figure that out, they can have the Pokemon card. If they can shoot a web from their hand and grab the Pokemon card, it's theirs.
There's skeets in my shop. Don't ruin your shop, buddy.
No, don't ruin my shop. It's going to be a real weird aftermath. I'm going to have to clean that up, or it's going to be just weird conversations.
You'll be shut down for 2 weeks. Clean Phenomenal 9 there, buddy. Oh, man. Well, this is really going off the rails here. But speaking of going off the rails, Topps is going crazy this week, man. They're having tons of drops. I don't know if you guys see all the drops, man. As we're filming, this is on Monday right now. This is the 31st? What day is it? Yeah, today's the 31st. We had Topps Chrome Black drop today for baseball. I don't know that product that well. So Tim, is that something good? Something that's very sought after?
Topps Chrome Black?
Yeah.
It's a cool product. It's very small. So you get I think it's like 5 cards in a pack, and of those 5 cards, like 2 are numbered, and then you get an encased card that's an autograph. Generally,
it sounds like a product I don't open right there. That sounds like a $300 to $600 product where I'm going to get a Starling Marte autograph and be really pissed off.
Yes,
allegedly.
That's
lucky for you.
But they are generally in years past they are very, very nice looking cards. Yeah. I love the way they look.
Well, lucky for Cary that Topps Heritage is dropping tomorrow, so that's going to be more your price point.
Is it going to be at Walmart? I'm buying.
Not anymore. How much?
The pre-order is dropping tomorrow.
Yeah, and how much do you think that's going to cost? It's ridiculous. They dropped Heritage high number on Topps.
Heritage used to be like about $100-ish, right?
No,
a hobby
good luck.
box.
It's probably like $300 now. And all the Heritage high number came out last week, and it completely sold out on Topps. It got sold out to bots. People who that was like normally a set that you could just go online and buy. Nobody could get it. It's gone.
And then we got Topps Football Inception. That's going to be released on the 4th of April. What was that?
That's how I feel about Topps Inception.
Cary will buy some overpriced packs and he'll open on his channel. And
if it's in the $25 to $30 a pack thing and it's blaster prices, I'll do it for an opening.
I'd rather open up a box of Wild Card Matte than pay
Wild Card Matte but it's
$600 for a box of.
Well, you get four or five autographs in that.
Exactly.
And you can get Aiden Hutchinson. I pulled Aiden.
Oh, we totally forgot about it. Onyx.
I love Onyx, man.
They signed the deal with minor league baseball players association.
Yes, that's awesome.
That's huge.
I agree, man. I think that's good. I've been waiting for someone to sign a deal with them because
Topps used to have it.
I know Topps used to have it. It's
Pro
been
debut,
long overdue.
Minor league heritage. Yeah. I don't know what happens to those products now, though.
Do they not have the minor league license anymore?
I guess not.
So, they kind of do because they have Bowman, because Bowman has a lot of the minor league.
Bowman is all pro uniforms.
Oh, yeah, pro uniforms. That's
the
right.
only products that came out in minor league uniforms is minor league Topps Pro Debut and Topps Minor League Heritage. Those are
classic
the only two.
1992.
I always love Pro Debut because it's so historically it's been very affordable. You get autographs and it's got tons of prospects. It's not obviously as desirable, but still, it felt like a good value.
Tim, how do you think that's going to impact Bowman cards now? Because this may be their first card being produced. Do you think does that have any impact on the bottom line of Bowman?
Because the Pro Debut has been going on for forever.
It's good for Onyx, though.
It's great for Onyx. Yes,
we need more companies making more cards that are have potential. I don't want Topps owning everything. And Onyx, I really like Onyx products, and they've been unlicensed, and I've still enjoyed this stuff.
Wait a minute, how the hell did Prism and Panini miss out on this opportunity? They're losing football. They're losing basketball. We had a whole show talking about about what are they going to do next. How do they miss this opportunity?
They're all in. They're all in on unlicensed Dave Concepcion cards for the rest of eternity. They want mid-level, 1970s and 80s baseball players and random prospects, and Bobby Witt apparently in all their stuff.
I tell you, the Live Golf is pretty dope though.
Dude, yeah. Dude, I got a lot of feedback opening that pack. Like people either loved it or hated it.
Cary, where
Sounds
did you
like
find
me
those?
right now, Cary.
I don't know where that came from, but that's how I speak now.
Where did you actually come across those at? Because I cannot find those anywhere.
That was at Mealy Pops in Gainesville.
Did you go? Wait, weren't we supposed to go to Mealy Pops this past weekend?
I just got lazy. It's like an hour and a half away. You weren't going, so I'm like, I'm not gonna. I'm just, and then Dawn would just be filming me.
We need to set up like a hotline for our viewers, right? Like a Google phone number where they can call and leave messages for Cary, and then we'll just play them for Cary at like 6 a.m. on the weekends, and that would
wake up.
Yeah,
Motivation.
Go to the card show
Go
now.
to the card show. These Kevin Mass rookie cards aren't going to buy themselves.
No card show is too small.
Exactly. Greg Jeffries, rated rookie, 20 miles away. Go get it.
Funny, dude. I bought a collection, and in this collection, there must have been, I swear to God, there must have been 27 Greg Jeffries rookie cards from Topps 1989. Dude. Still like in yellow, piss-colored yellow.
I love that because, I hate to say it, but all these Bowman first guys, and maybe it's not going to be a Jack Caglione or whoever, but some of these dudes that everybody's hot on right now, in 30 years, everybody's going to be floating in space on some space station or whatever, laughing about, remember Jack Caglione or whatever? Yeah, they're all over, they're going to be saying the same stuff.
One of my favorite cards I picked up this weekend out of the dollar box, Brian Jordan.
Brian Jordan, dude.
I love Brian Jordan.
One of the only people outside of Bo Jackson and Dion who played in MLB and in the NFL.
I did a live auction where I had a twofer. I had a baseball Brian Jordan and a football one. One was an auto too, so it was awesome.
I was there for that. I bid on it and I lost it.
Dang it, man!
I distinctly remember that auction because I thought it was
People
so cool.
forget about Brian Jordan being a two-way guy or a two-sport guy.
It was a 2001 Bowman Chrome Brian Jordan gold refractor number to 99.
Wow. Sick.
Super sick
Dude, that's
card.
sick.
Super sick card. And the gold, the refractor in those early days, they hit a little bit different. And so I picked that up for $1, and it's probably like a $15 card. The cool thing about that is I'm going to be one of the only people that has that card listed. Nobody else is going to have that card listed. So it's either going to sell in 2 days or it's going to sell in 2 years. But one way or another, it's going to sell it.
You're getting your dollar back one way or another. You're getting your dollar back. That brings up, do you think we'll ever have any more, other than players playing both sides of the ball, because you had Chuck Bednarik back in the day. You have, oh my God, the guy from Colorado. I can't think of his name.
Travis Hunter
and stuff like that. But do you think you'll have anyone playing two sports again? Or do you think no way?
Contracts, leagues won't allow it. They barely allowed it in the 90s. Really. Yeah, they were having a lot of issues with it.
Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward
won the Heisman Trophy at Florida State and then never even played it down in the NFL. Went and played basketball for the Knicks and played for a long time, too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people forgot about how long he actually played in the NBA for.
It's funny because you have these players and, when they have their cards in multiple, which I love. I think that's cool. I like getting players you can get basketball, football cards, players you can get baseball, football cards. It's a cool aspect because it's just something you just don't see, it'd be cool to see, the Oakland A's or West Sacramento A's might have been a little bit better if we still had Kyler Murray because they drafted him number 7 overall. What was it, in 18 or 17? And then he chose football, obviously. You think we'll get a Kyler Murray autographed baseball card in the future for the picture? Give Topps some time. They're going through other people right now. What did they do on the last one? Tom Brady, John Elway, Larry David. They went to Larry David. Yeah, it's getting I guess Larry David's interesting, but it's getting worse. We're going to get to a point where it's just Brian Taylor. Remember him? He was a fireballer. Here's a 93 design and an auto on card. I would buy that. That sounds awesome, honestly. Well, just like this conversation and this podcast is really going downhill. So let's draw a winner here. Let's draw a winner for last week's giveaway for 1,000. We want to appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here, supporting us, Debit Cards, and this channel. We literally hit 1,000 subs, and we want to give you some free stuff. That's what we want to
and
do.
tell people about us. You know, like there's like it's okay. Don't feel ashamed. I mean, just because we're not, card collector 2 or, like we're still pretty cool guys. So yeah, tell a friend about, No Banger Sports Card Podcast.
Well, 2 out of the 3 of us are cool. You choose.
Which
Card
2?
Collector 69. That's what
2?
we are. We're bombing the barrel.
You know what? In the chat, in the chat, I feel like I'm doing a wet knot impression right now. I saw a kid the other night. He must have been 10 years old, and he was doing his best to do like, "What are we doing, chat? Wake up, chat!
Wake up.
We're still at $1, chat. Why are we sleeping, chat?"
It's
and I'm
an
like,
A.T. Perry Prism Silver rookie, folks.
But
Banger.
in the comments, rank Cary, Rod, and Tim in our level of coolness. If my self-esteem can't take any more beating, I might as well pile it on.
I feel like me and Tim are fighting for who the dude is in this podcast because we're both very the dude-ish.
You're very dude-ish.
Rod is the douche without question.
Douche. Yeah, that's. I mean, listen, we are the backwards hat crew. I mean, we did.
We changed our hats at the start just to throw people off.
Just throw people off. You know what I mean?
Then we all naturally went back to normal.
I still haven't seen Rod wear his hat forward.
I do. I have worn my hat forward before.
Right
Just
now.
do it real quick. We want to see it
right now.
Listen, I gotta save something for the second date, guys.
Slow roll.
Or just take your hat off, Rod. I want to see that.
You want to see the mohawk?
Yeah, I want to see the faux hog, bro.
The faux hawk? No.
Yeah, man.
I gotta say something for the second date, man. Listen, I don't give it all up right away, bro. I can't just give it up, man. I'm no floozy over here. All right?
right.
Come on, I gotta let it go. So, but yeah, we're gonna pick a winner. Hashtag was #1K giveaway for us hitting 1,000. We are giving away some. You gotta get a little mystery pack that has some blaster box and some packs of cards in it. So let's draw the winner right now. Let's see. All right. Well, we had 38 comments, so let's pick the winner. And best in the Midwest, 84.
There we go.
Good year, 1984.
83 is better.
83 is a lot better, but
is better.
Best in the Midwest, 84. Send me, Tim, or Cary. Actually, send me or Tim a message on Instagram or on Debit Cards.
If you send me a message on Instagram, I would answer, but it's got to be on cards.
Because Cary probably won't answer it. So he barely makes it to card shows out there. But yeah, you won. Didn't they win once like a long time ago? I think they were. I think they've won in the past.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Well, hey, congrats. They won. Let's unshare the screen here. Guys, remember, we are doing the Debit Card Raid train this Wednesday. It starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have giveaways going to 10 p.m. at night. Every show's going to have multiple giveaways, multiple people. And it's not just sports cards. We have Pokemon, we have Marvel, we have Star Wars, we have baseball, basketball, hockey. A little bit of everything here. I know I'll be doing 2 different shows that day. Tim's doing 2 shows. Cary's doing 2 shows.
I'm doing one of my shows with Cary. We had a blast last week.
Dude.
On Tuesday, what was that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night? I don't remember what night it was.
I think we went Wednesday.
We had a blast during that live.
Dude, me and Tim are combustible. It's fun.
So
it would be cool if all 3 of us could do it, but they don't have
we can do Voice of God, and at least have
it might
all
be
the
fun one of these times.
We can try doing that.
You should do it when I'm on at 7 if you have time. Come do Voice of God with us for a minute.
That reminds me, when this drops, the card show's going on, guys.
Yeah.
So this drops at 11 a.m. And depending on what time of the day you watch it, go over to Debit Cards. We'll put a link down in the description below. Come hang out with us. Come join and have fun. You don't have to buy anything. Just come hang out.
Come
chat.
talk cards. If you want to buy,
cards.
cool. If you don't, just hang out with us. We'd appreciate the support. Truly, guys.
And make sure you tell Cary and Tim that they're the douches, not me. All right. So just throwing it out there. But
when Rod's on, hashtag the douche, if you would.
So
we'll
Tim,
allow it.
Any final words here?
Oh, don't forget, I will be at the Chantilly Sports Card Show this week. I will be there Friday, Saturday, and depending on how much money I have left, Sunday. So
are you doing an autograph signing? What are you doing?
No, I'll be box digging, man.
Okay.
But the Chantilly Card Show is one of the larger shows on the circuit. So 3-day event. It's going to be huge. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be there. So, and before I forget, if you're still here listening all the way to the end, shout out to Kevin, who I met at the Frederick Card Show, who watches the podcast and is a member of Debit Cards. So to meet him out in the wild, he said it was only his second card show ever.
That's awesome.
Super excited
Here's
to
the key.
meet him.
If you meet Tim at a bargain box, go sit next to him, and just like slowly and very subtly start saying stuff like, you know what I wish I could find? A really good card. Just keep saying that and make him feel guilty. So every time he finds something good, he might give it to you. Just be like, I wish I had a good card. I really want a card that's valuable.
Yeah, but okay, let me see your stat. Let me see what I need to look for.
I'm a big fan. Who is this? Who is this? Mickey Mantle? I'd like that. I wish I found that.
And if you guys can't support Tim and any of us on Wednesday, Tim is going to be part of the Whatnot card show this week as well, Tim, right?
Yep, so I'll be live. Listen, I have 26 lives. I think I have seven lives this week. So I was telling multiple platforms.
I was telling Tim earlier before we were live, and you were gone taking a poop before the show or whatever. I don't know what you were doing. Yeah, I was like, Tim looks like, because we're all like 40, 41-ish. Tim looks like he was a kid in 1992 and then just magically became an adult like in an instant. Like, look at what he's wearing. Yes. It's like a Bugle Boy t-shirt right there. He's got his BK Knights on. I look like the same thing. I'm like Cary. 2001 and I grew up.
I said I'm actually wearing bright blue and one basketball shorts as well.
I love it, man. It's so Tim.
On point. There we go. Cary, any final words for the audience here?
Yeah, please come check out the Dibdit Raid Train, our big card show, which is today when you're watching this from 2 to, I don't know, 9 or 10. It's going to be great. We're all going to be on there. 10. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, actually, no, 2011. Oh, actually, no, I forgot. We have another person. Pacific Picker is going to be going on from 10 to 11.
So it's all day, guys.
So we're going from actually 2 to 11. We will be live all day long. So
yeah, Debit Cards is something we're putting a lot of effort in and we really care about. There's going to be some good deals, I imagine, there, but also just hopefully some good, fun, entertaining conversation. We'd love to have you. And follow me everywhere on American Arbitrage. On Pinterest is the main one. I would really like some people to follow me on. Just my American Arbitrage, not cards. I don't have cards on it. So if you want to see like 3-year-old Pinterest picker content, go follow. I'm over 1,000 there.
Wow, this podcast has really gone downhill, guys. So with that being said,
Tim, fantastic episode.
Jump the sharks.
All right, Tim. Well, you know what time it is, my friend.
All right, everybody, put your hands in. No bangers on 3. 1, 2, 3. No bangers!
You better have done it.